There is no race, no religion, no color, no sexual orientation that makes us better than anyone else. We are all deserving of love. Have you ever been judged or ridiculed for being who you are? How did that make you feel? Bad? Now, why would you do that to somebody else? If we were more accepting of people in the way that they think, I think that the world would be a much better place. I have family and friends of the sexual orientation, and I hear what they have gone through every day and their whole lives. To be afraid of being who you are, to be afraid for your life, that's just not something that should be a thing. Today I'm going to talk about what the Iowa City Pride Festival was like, how Pride Festival started, and what the LGBTQ movement is all about. Now, the Pride Festival in Iowa City was a part of the Iowa City Pride Week. It began with a vigil for the victims of the Pulse Orlando shootings. It was such an emotional experience. Just to think that these people were in a place that they were to be surrounded by their peers and everybody that they know, a place that was supposed to be a safe haven for them, and it was destroyed and lives were taken, is just so unbelievable to me. And I just can't imagine what those families are going through. After the vigil, we went to the shows, and Candy Stratton and Sasha Bell, who were a part of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a TV show that you see drag queens and they perform, and it's great. So we saw them perform, and there were rainbow floats, and there were people dressed in crazy outfits, and it was just so much fun. There was also an Iowa City Kings drag show, which is with the Kings, it's women dressed as men, and that was really funny as well. Now, for some people, these things like drag shows and crazy outfits might seem silly and pointless. However, this entire festival has a purpose, which brings me to my second point. Pride festivals began in the 1970s with the Stonewall riots. This was an uprising between the youth of New York and the police that started when the police raided a popular gay bar called the Stonewall Inn. Now, this was known as the beginning of the LGBT movement. Now, the first Pride Festival was celebrated a year after this happened because they thought of this as being their Liberation Day. So the reason why it was called the Christopher Street Liberation Day Parade. Pride festivals are a place where not only LGBT people can be themselves, but also with just straight people as well. It's just a place where you can be yourself, go crazy, and just be who you are without being judged. You may ask what the point of this is, which brings me to my third point. The LGBTQ used to be known as the gay community. It stands for lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, and they had just recently added the Q, which can mean queer or questioning. Now, they did this because they didn't want this movement to be all about gay people. They wanted to include everybody whose sexual orientation wasn't considered normal. So the goal of this movement is to bring awareness to people, and hopefully that one day being gay or trans or bisexual or whatever can be a normal thing. It's not going to be labeled anymore. We want to get the LGBTQ. We don't want to make that relevant anymore. Love is love. We also want to inform people that of the things that LGBTQ people go through every day, such as hate crimes and just being called out on the street and just being ridiculed for being themselves. We just want to show that love is love. Now that you have the information, let's recap. I've told you what the Pride Festival was like, how the festival began, and what the movement is. If we were more accepting of people and the way that they think, I think that the world would be a much better place. With this research, I know I now have a better understanding about the LGBTQ community, and I hope that one day we can live in a world where we are all equal.